Welcome back to the channel. Hanging out with Dad Rad Fords once again. Got you a Rad Ford to work on today. As you can see, we got a hot rod little 2-valve set up behind me. Supercharger, got a little nitrous over here. He's got some big cams in it. Supposedly this is like a built stroker bottom end. What's it here for? Well, he was trying to have the car tuned out at our local shop, Moe's Speed Shop. Jeff Harris there, the GOAT tuner around these parts. He is excellent at these Fords for sure. And he said it was running out of valve spring. So apparently the story the customer gave me, it's a built stroker short block. Somebody put some big cams in the heads and put stock valve springs back in it. So it's here for us to put a set of valve springs in. Very similar to the 32 valve Cobra video you saw. I'm going to use very similar tooling as far as the valve spring tools and stuff, but luckily we've only got 16 to do, not 32 like the Cobra, so it won't be quite as daunting. It's still a little bit of fidgety wrestling match. So we got some other stuff. We got fuel pressure regulator, a little bit of nitrous kit, and some stuff to take out of the way over here. So I'm about to get into that and get that stuff off so we can get our first valve cover off and see what we've got. Verify that we do have some stock springs or whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the driver's side valve cover because it is the hardest one to get off. So yeah, let's get right into that. Okay, I'm gonna start by taking some of this nitrous stuff out of my way because it is in my way. So let's start there. It's all pretty crudely routed, so it should come out pretty easily. Ooh, yeah. So we'll take that line out of our way. Get rid of this purge line. Yeah, the nitrous box isn't mounted or anything, so it'll all come off pretty simply. So we're going to mark this one. Simple little Sharpie mark. I think I can just lay most of this junk out of my way. Try to only disturb what has to be disturbed. Nitrous line zip tied to the clutch cable. Some kind of funky vacuum line dealy whopper here. What the? I don't know, but we got a lot going on this unit. Zip ties on zip ties on zip ties. All right, I'm starting to get to where I can see the valve cover and possibly get it off. I'm gonna go underneath, take the clutch cable loose so I can take it loose from the firewall, pull it out of my way, because it's in my way. Let's do that. Okay, got my clutch cable out of the way. I'm going to start unbolting this valve cover. Before I pull the Hydro Boost out, cannot remember if the valve cover will come out with it in there or not. We're about to find out. If I don't got to take it off, great. If I got to take it off, whatever. I'm probably going to have to get these valve springs back here anyways, so whatever. I do not think this is going to come out without pulling the Hydro Boost, but we're going to give it a valiant effort. Okay, you see I got my Hydro Boost moved up out of the way. It's so easy to take off. I don't know why sometimes I'm reluctant to pop it out of there, but you can see it gives me all kinds of room down in here. Because as you can tell, just like if you watch my Cobra video, like you got a whole set of valve springs down here on the bottom of the cam, and you cannot do this with the cam out of the engine. So you got to have some kind of room to work and fight and get these keepers in, and yeah, it sucks. I see we got some head studs in here, some sort of aftermarket camshaft. It's got some kind of choppy cam in it. It sounds good. Somebody spent some money on this thing at some point, so let's see if we can get his valve springs upgraded. They look like stock springs just chilling down in there. Definitely stock retainers, I can see. So, okay, let's get we'll have to pull this cam cap off to get some access. So let's get into that. All right, got started. I had to rummage around, find my valve spring tools. Got one spring, everything out, just so I can show you guys the difference. So this thing definitely has some kind of big cams. It's got a part number right here. I'll try to look it up for you, see what, so we can share what cam it is. So here's our original spring, keepers, retainer, valve stem seal. We got, I think I already stated, we got the Trick Flow 600 lift valve spring kit. Comes with valve stem seals, a whole set of keepers, titanium retainers, everything you need. So First thing you need to do, put your valve stem seal on. I'm gonna get just a little bit of grease. I like to put me just a little bit of trans gel in the top of it just so it slides up over the valve. So we'll slide, it's kind of hard to see, but we're going to slide that down all the way down over the valve. And then we'll grab, these springs come with a shim. Your factory springs will not have a shim. This is a shim. This helps the spring achieve and sustain the max lift on like a large cam like this. Okay, so there's our our shim. Go with the spring. Probably can set this retainer down in here. I'm trying to get the light where everybody can see, but it's kind of tough. There's the spring sitting on there with the retainer. Now's where it starts to get fun. So, must-have tools for doing this is obviously the Ford OEM valve spring compressor tool. This hooks under the camshaft. This part goes on the valve spring, and then you move the ratchet. It compresses the spring. Even more important than that is a little small magnet that is bent, that's strong but not too strong. And I've cut this one off years ago and wrapped it with electrical tape so I have some kind of a handle. Because once you have the tool and everything in here, let me kind of show you. It's hard to do like live action, so I'm just going to try to demonstrate. So once I have this tool up under here, under the cam and everything in there, it gets crowded as crap. So you got to get one keeper kind of stuck in, get it in there, and then you can go in from the bottom. So I'm about to just go at it live action, see if we can film it and follow you guys along. This part of the job is what will make you cuss every single thing that you can find. If you watch my Cobra video, it's a 32 valve. So we have to do this 32 times. Luckily, this is a 2 valve. We only got to do it 16 times. And the 2 valve stuff's a little bit bigger, beefier, but either way, it sucks. So a high tack grease, trans gel is my favorite. I kind of just put it in here. You don't got to cake it on there, but the idea, this stuff is, see how it's kind of tacky like? Once I get this set on the valve stem with my magnet, I can shimmy the magnet away and the grease will hold this one keeper in place while you attempt to fish the other one in. Getting the first one in is not that big of a deal. It's once you get this one in there, so you see how it's on my magnet? I've got it facing, it's basically ready to go on the valve. These are tapered. Can you see that it's narrow at the bottom, wider at the top? So there is an up and down. I don't know if it picks it good on camera. So load one keeper up on a magnet. And we're gonna try to get all this set up in here on top of the spring. Can you guys see how that's pushing the spring down? It's probably tough as crap to see. But yep, you see when you, just like any other magnet, whenever you, anywhere in the vicinity, it's going to grab on everything that you do not want it to. Okay, the easy part. There's one keeper down in there. It's tough to see. I know this light is probably glaring bad. There we go. Can you see how I just set that keeper in there and this pushes the valve down? All right. Now, just hold tight right there. Hold what you got. I'm gonna grab it, just stay focused right there. I'm gonna grab a little screwdriver. And what I like to try to do with this top one is, I'm sorry if the light gets glary, but I need it more than y'all do right now, but let's see. Okay, I can see that. So what I'll try to do is, now that I have this kind of loaded up on there, I'm gonna try to just put enough tension to where it can't come off, but I'm gonna take my screwdriver and rotate this, show them down in there. Can you see how I just rotated that first keeper to the bottom side of the valve? Can you see way down in there? So now my idea is, you guys are gonna get some time lapse through the rest of this, but watch this. I'm gonna load this one up. I'll be right back. Okay, so we got this one loaded up with some of our high-tack grease, trans gel. All right, now what gets fun is obviously since this is a magnet, it's going to want to try to grab your other keeper as you're setting this one in. So the trick is to not disturb the one, but get your other one on there. I feel like a surgeon. All right, I'm glad that first one went so good on camera for y'all. So that's the gist of it. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. It's just small fidgety work. This is the tool. So this is actually the foot is for a 3-valve. It's got this pin in there. I like it on the 2-valve. I've actually lost parts of my regular 2-valve tool. The regular 2-valve tool is kind of straight like this. But what's a pain in the butt about it is once you get the spring compressed, this whole backside is closed off. With this one going from the side, it just grabs the side of the spring and it gives you some access to get your little magnet and stuff in there. So while I got this together, let's go ahead and I'll pop take one side apart. So you just saw me put one together. So now we'll put this side, fish it under the cam like that. Stick your ratchet in there. And there's that. And wherever my small magnet went, we just set it down somewhere. Right here. So this part, no big deal. Magnet, both keepers. Let the pressure off the spring. Fish your little tool out. And just like that, there's another stock spring. And getting the valve stem seal out when they've been in there for a while can be kind of wrestling. So just, you don't have to be careful. I mean, you don't want to nick the valve stem, but I've got these. I was using these pliers on the first one. And these are like hose pliers for like getting small hoses and stuff off like that. But I find it works pretty good. You wind up puncturing it and still wrestling the crap out of it, but it will kind of go down there and grab the seal. It's stupid. They're literally just held in there right now by just like what I call a stiction. So if you can just somehow get this wrapped around it, it sucks. This is the worst part, one of the worst parts. Anyways, you guys get the general idea there. Like I said, everything, I literally, whenever I do this kind of stuff, I feel like a surgeon of some sort. My little plier trick sounded good on paper, and it worked good on the first one, but not working so good right now. There we go. Okay, so the straight needle nose are gonna be the trick. The hose clamp ones work sometimes. All right, so there's everything. There's that. So let's go ahead and just start from scratch. We'll walk you through one hole, getting this cylinder done. This is cylinder number 5. We'll get this one done, then I'll time lapse the rest of them. Hopefully I can do all the rest of them as smooth as you just saw me do that one. Because, yeah, man, I'll tell you what, if you guys could not see the frustration and hear the frustration when I was doing that Cobra 32 valve, man, they're tough. So just imagine, I've got this in here. Let's go ahead and add a whole nother camshaft and 8 more valves on this side, and they're tough. The 2-valve stuff's not quite as bad, but it's just all this stuff, you literally will feel like you're performing not even heart surgery. I feel like heart surgery is kind of like child's play compared to this. This is more like some like brain surgery, literally like brain surgery. Like, that's how I feel. Grab a spring. Physically looking, they don't look any different. They should not. The coils, if you will look closely, they're a little bit bigger and there's fewer of them. So if you have a bigger coil, you cannot have as many, because what's going to happen as this spring gets compressed, as the lobe comes around and it compresses it, if we had this many coils with this fat of a coil, it's going to have what you call coil bind. So eventually these coils are going to stack on top of each other. You're going to press it down so far and they're going to wind up touching each other. And that is max compression, and then you'll get some coil bind because they're going to be bound on themselves. So this spring is a little, if we hold it up in the air, you can clearly see these are not wound as tightly. This is the stock one. This is not wound as tightly, and this wire is obviously bigger. So just trying to Drop a little knowledge in there for you guys. Don't forget to put your shim, and they're beehive, but not really. The bottom is bigger than the top, so don't put them on upside down, or your retainer will not fit in there right. So there's the spring. Spring is on. You grab a retainer. This is a on my personal opinion. The retainer and the stronger keepers, the titanium retainer is equally as important as the stiff spring. I know there's not a lot, but there's a couple of companies out there that will sell you just springs, no retainers or nothing. The titanium retainers really help with the deflection. As the cam pushes down, it can actually concave that stock retainer. Let me go ahead and get me 2 more keepers out of here. And I think the keepers are just literally stock replacement keepers. I don't think they're any stronger. So if something happens and you drop one, these things can wind up in the oil pan. But if you drop one in the pan, it's not that big of a deal. Or if you drop one on down and it falls in the head through the oil galley, it's gonna wind up in the pan. Just a little bit of that on there. Let's grab the magnet. Make sure we're kind of orientated up and down correctly. Let's move these out of our way. Okay, see if we can do a second one anywhere near as smoothly as we did the first one. Okay, got that one. All right, now remember the trick. Let's compress it back down. Take a screwdriver and just kind of, got our grease on there. Let's just kind of barely rotate it around there. Really, when doing this job, it's super ideal if you have like 4 hands and an extra set of arms on your body. This is where it gets frustrating sometimes, when it doesn't just go just like that first one did, where I just popped it in there and hey, we're done. Not always the case, fellas, not always the case. Bam! Okay, there's one whole cylinder down. All I'm gonna do is put the rockers in there. So what you'll do to get the rockers in, we usually can use this same tool. Take the air pressure off the cylinder. Smoking. Grab a rocker. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these, but a 2-valve has a pretty beefy rocker with a pretty large roller for an overhead cam. And one good hot upgrade for these, I do not have these in the Fox body, but in my red car, Ruby, the race car, the first gen GT500s, like when they come out 08, the 5.4 GT500s, they use the same rocker arm, but it's a little beefier and the stamping is better. It doesn't have this edge on the side. It's a little bit beefier rocker arm than a 2-valve, and it's the same size. So GT500 rocker arm, hot upgrade for your 2-valve. So let me just show you if we can get this rocker arm slipped back under there with this tool, and then we're going to start time-lapsing some of this stuff so we can see. Now the pressure is not holding the valve up. You can drop the rocker arm 4 or 5 times, however many times you deem necessary. The idea is to get it there. Bam, see how easy that was? Now, see, this rocker arm's back on there like it is, and what we'll do for the first one, you just take the only thing that is kind of fidgety about this tool using this offset leg is you got to flip it every time, but it's not that big a deal. I have to rotate the engine over some because that lobe is going to be in the way. We'll try. When getting the rockers back in, the cam lobes need to be kind of up out of the way. This one may not quite be in the way yet. Put the ratchet back on there. I have to rotate this cam around to where the lobe is not on the bottom side. Then I can put this in. But anyways, so enough talking to y'all about this crap. We're gonna get after it. Okay, both rockers are in, both of our springs are on. Got number 5 cylinder done. Now I can pull my piece out of here for putting air in the cylinder, put the spark plug back in, and go on to the next cylinder. Yes, they get harder as you get further back because the room disappears. You get less and less room towards the back. That side, the AC accumulator and stuff's in the way. So yeah, let's get this side done first. Okay, got this side done. Cam towers, torque down, all of the rockers are back in, spark plugs back in, all of our upgraded springs down in there. So I'm ready to jam this valve cover back on, hydro boost master cylinder back on, and then we'll move to the next side. Yeah, and I got to put all of his other stuff back, try to make it look decent. Okay, that side all buttoned up back together. Like I said, minus just his add-on stuff, the nitrous and all that other add-on stuff for that. Got this valve cover off. We're about to jam on this side. The only thing that kind of sucks on this side is it gets tight back here. I may have to discharge the AC, pull this accumulator and stuff out, but we're gonna work our way in the front. Got my afternoon muscle built going. Still ain't heard nothing from them. I don't know what the deal is, so I'm just trying to get a simple sponsorship, you know. I'm going to enjoy my mid-afternoon muscle milk break, and then we'll get to jamming on this side, see if we can get this thing knocked out today. I don't know if I can get it. It's getting a little bit late. I want to stop at a certain time. We're getting ready to go out of town, so I'm in full-blown vacation mode right now. So I'm trying to get as much work done as I can, but I'm also got some stuff to take care of in the evenings. I'm not trying to work all freaking night, so trying to stop at a decent time, but I want to at least get this side valve springs done and the valve cover back on, so if I have to start on pick up on in the morning, I know I've just got simple buttoning up stuff to do, and I won't get up and be like, oh man, I got to finish this or that. So let's jam into this, get another side knocked out. Okay, just like the other side, we're going to get our cam tower off of here. Start with our front. And I forgot to take a picture of the cam part number on that side, so I'll see if I can find a part number on this side so we can look them up and I can tell you guys what cams are in this thing. He said he thought they were some kind of mild comp cam, so I don't really know. We'll see. Oh boy, here we go, here we go. This popped out and get our magnet and our tube in there. So put air in the cylinder. Spark plug. Then you put that in there. So then you can put air in the cylinder. Let's go ahead and pop these rocker arms off of there. There's one set of keepers out. Yeah, much less miserable on a 2-valve car than a 4-valve. Man, that Cobra the other week, I ain't gonna lie, it put me through it. Things are tough. A little old 2-valve, not too bad though. Just a little bit of fidgetiness, and other than that, not too miserable. Valve stem seal, a little bit of grease on the valve stem seal, get a shim out of our shim pack. The shim on top of the valve stem seal. Spring, once again, smaller side to the top. Now we need a retainer. Put that on top of there. Get us a couple of freshy keepers out. Get them greased up. Let's get our tool set up. Dang it, I was smooth with the first side for y'all. Getting late in the day, getting shaky. There's one. Take our screwdriver, rotate it around a little bit so we can get the second one. Pick up the second one. Oh, this is just loads of fun. Bam! Okay, there's that one. So now, to do the other side, you just take your tool, I think I already showed you, flip the little foot over. If you're using the traditional 2-valve, the actual correct 2-valve tool, it's straight, you don't have to flip it, but I lost said tool, and I actually kind of like using this one better because it gives me a little more room. Okay, passenger side done. Cam caps both torqued. Cylinder head service wipe down, got me some fresh silicone in the corners. I'm ready to jam this valve cover back on and get this thing together. Call it a night on this unit. Got his hot rod valve springs in there. This thing ought to be good to go. If that was his issue, in fact, then he should have no worries now because he's got plenty of valve spring for that big old blower, these choppy cams. It ought to be good to go. Well, we're back together, folks. We're all back together. He had a fuel fitting leaking on the back of this rail where the adapter for this quick connect. I'll show you over here. Yeah, it's almost like this little collar isn't, let me see if I can show you this one-handed. It's like this collar won't lock in there, that spring in there won't lock around that collar. So I had to figure something out on that in the morning, find some fittings or something to do something better there just to get him on the road. Other than that, we are back together. Valve springs are in, one little fuel leak, and we are done. But I'm probably about to call it for the day. I'm gonna get me some fitness knocked out, and we'll start this, fix our fuel leak in the morning, and move along with life. Okay, so I fixed my little fuel leak issue. It was actually just this quick connect right here, the spring, and it's like these fuel lines, and let me find another AC line like that one down there, and oh yeah, this one right here that's got a little spring inside there that actually swells out around the little collar and then goes back, holds it in there. So yeah, we're nice and tight now. That should be good, no leaks there. So yeah, I'm all the way back together. So get this thing up and running for him, and he can go back to the dyno and finish getting this thing tuned out. That was his whole issue, is got it on the dyno. They said it didn't have enough valve spring because it was falling on its face because it had stock springs in it, a lot of boost, big camshafts. So yeah, hopefully that's his issue. I don't know if that's all of his issue, but that's what the tuner said at the dyno, I guess, and to start there. So I'm gonna crank this thing, get it up and running. It actually sounds pretty cool, a little choppy cam with the Vortec whine, classic old sound. I think it's a Vortec, it may be a Paxton, I'm not sure. This thing is loud. Sounds sick. Let this thing idle down and to go to chop it and get that Vortex or that supercharger really is talking to you. She's up and running good, seems good, no noise, everything's nice and quiet, running smooth. A little bit of smoke burning off from where I spilled oil taking the valve covers off down onto the header, so she seems happy. This thing sounds pretty good. It's got a nice little chop to it. supercharger whine is nice. I think I need one in my life. All right, there we go. I just got done taking this unit down the road. Runs good, drives good, sounds good. It's ready to head back to the dyno shop and get this thing dialed in and make some rips. I'm gonna try to get into the drag strip with us, see what this thing will do. It seems like a pretty healthy setup, I'm not gonna lie. The car runs good, drives good, it's a nice little car. So anyways, thanks for hanging out with me, following along through another just wrenching away video. It's what we do around here. Another hot rod 2-valve on the road, dialed in, tooted up, ready to go around here. Y'all know me around here in my 2-valve stuff. We put them in every damn thing around here. So, thanks for watching, hanging out. Make sure you're subscribed. Drop us some comments, especially if you're some 2-valve people out there also, you like your 2-valves. So, yeah, like, subscribe, comment, stay rad. Don't go nowhere. Stick around for the next one.